Eureka is back with a new conical titanium nib and is even more radical than the first one. South Korean indie pen maker Eureka has been around for a few years. They made a big splash last year with their first generation titanium nib. That one looked a bit like Sean Design's Monarch nib, which started some online debates about who copied who. With this second generation design, Eureka is proving that they're not copying anyone. There's just nothing else on the market quite like this. Compared to the first generation nib, the most noticeable differences are its curved shape, meant to look like a water drop, and the fact that there's no visible tine slit. This is supposed to stop the tines from getting misaligned. There is a slit though, but only on the underside. If you remove the ebonite feed, you can see it clearly. The first version only came with a stub-like grind. The second generation design will eventually be available in fine, medium, broad, stub and something called Variline. The one I have here is the medium. I would describe it as a somewhat dry and feedbacky writer. If you like nibs that just glide over the paper, this might not be for you. If you enjoy that tactile feedback of the nib touching the paper, you might like it, but to be clear, this one is borderline scratchy. A closer look at the grind doesn't reveal any obvious facets, so maybe it's simply a consequence of the dry ink flow. It's also stiff as a nail due to the titanium alloy used, called grade 5 ELI or grade 23. Traditional titanium nibs like the ones from Bock are quite soft. From what I understand, those are made from pure titanium, also called grade 2, which is very elastic but has low yield strength. In other words, they're easy to bend but they don't snap back well. So if this Eureka nib is not soft, then what's the point of using grade 23 titanium? From what I understand, the main draw is its wear resistance. Eureka says grade 23 titanium is nearly as hard as traditional tipping material. That's why there's no separate tipping welded onto this nib. That simplifies the design and manufacturing process. I paid $150 plus shipping for this one, which is surprisingly low considering the competition. I honestly don't get it. Eureka could easily charge 2 or 3 times as much. Eureka's pens famously sell out fast, which frustrates a lot of fans. This second generation nib launched in June and I missed the first batch but managed to snag one when they restocked. This new nib is supposedly easier to make despite the complex design, so hopefully Eureka can ramp up production to meet demand. The pen I got is faceted and made of Ultem. You can't unscrew the section, so to fill it you have to unscrew the nib unit and eyedropper fill the barrel. I do hope they release other filling systems in the future. Eureka used to sell a pen that worked with Pilot's Con 70 converter. I noticed that the threads on the new and old nibs are different, so they aren't swappable. Both are proprietary as far as I can tell. When it comes to the writing experience, this nib honestly doesn't offer much over, say, a Preppy or Kakuno. You aren't getting any flex, line variation or bold strokes, at least not with this medium nib. To be fair though, you can say the same about a lot of expensive nibs. Pilot's legendary Super 500, one of the most extravagant nibs ever made, doesn't write much different than a Kakuno. With exotic nibs like this, it's more about the aesthetics and the craftsmanship. Eureka has created one of the most unique, beautiful nibs on the market, and they have done it at the most aggressive price. This new nib isn't without its problems. I do think it needs a bit more smoothing out of the box, at least this unit. Also, eyedropper filled pens that require you to unscrew the nib might not be for everyone. Still, I'm so glad there are small indie pen makers that are willing to try something like this. This is easily one of the most interesting product launches this year, and I'm keen to try the other grinds, especially that intriguing Variline one. What do you think? Is this new Eureka nib a winner? If you enjoyed this video, please consider subscribing. Thanks for watching.